What's up, guys? This is Jeff here. Today is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Welcome back to my program to review my account performance every day. Well, I would say today is another very solid trading day for the index. If you can see here, Nasdaq is up nearly 1.6%, actually 1.3%. SPY 500 is up nearly 0.6%. When Dow was up 0.3%. Let's talk about this index moving up performance for today, right? I would say there are a couple of reasons driving the index is going up during the whole day. One, of course, after yesterday's market closed, the second tech company with decent size issued its finance report, issued its earning report, right? And that company is being Netflix. Of course, when I say the second tech company with decent size, the first one is being Taiwan Semi. We have talked about that company for a couple of times, so I won't really spend so much time on it. Let's focus on Netflix. So, if we look at the earning report from Netflix this season, if you compare, for example, the company growth year over year compared to the same time last year, Netflix gives us basically a double performance of the same time last year. So basically they have a little over the 100% growth rate compared to the same time in 2023, which is very, very impressive, right? If we look at the real performance shown on the earning report compared to what market has expected in terms of both total revenue and earning per share, the company is able to beat both of the market expectations. And also, if you look at the future perspective, right, the company issued a relatively strong forecast or guidance in future in 2025, which also satisfied the market. So with all of those positive factors, Netflix was actually up pretty big even before the market opened today. And of course, if you look at the intraday performance for Netflix today, you would say actually, basically you can see Netflix opened at its highest point of the price at the beginning of the day, and when the trading session going on, the price went down a little bit gradually and basically closed out at its lowest point of the day. And then if we look at the trading volume for this company during the day, very clear, right? You can see a pretty high bar standing here, which showing it's way higher than the average trading volume for Netflix. When we combine, the performance, the price trend, as well as the trading volume, it's pretty safe to say actually, in the market when the investors had that stock, most of them, right, or more than average of them, they actually wanted to trade Netflix stock out and realize the benefit by enjoying a pretty high open at the beginning of the day. That's the reason why you see actually the price for Netflix went down consistently, not significantly, but very consistently during the intraday session. And then the way more than usual trading volume shows that a lot of people, a number of investors wanted to sell the stock out and basically enjoy the profit and put the profit into their pocket. Often enough, when the stock goes in this way, it's basically saying the market has fully realized the great news, right? They have fully realized the positive impact from the great news on the stock price. And very often enough, when you have this kind of trend, the price prediction in future, in very short term, will be kind of negative, right? It's common to think, or it's not difficult really to predict that, only within a very short period of time, investors would think the price for this stock is, has been already high during, since the past 6 months, and the great news has been issued. Do we have any further exciting news from Netflix? Nobody really knows. So with all that reasons, it may actually take some time for the stock price stabilize a little bit, right? It may continue to go down day by day for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 weeks when the market believe the price of this stock has fully reflect its value or sometimes even being undervalued. The whole correction phase should be and will be stopped. And then gradually, with a solid finance performance, the price for Netflix will go up from that phase, and hopefully, let's say in 1 month, roughly 1 to 2 months, hopefully the price for this stock can break its new high, right? Can break $1,000 per share. So, with all being said, I think first of all, congratulations to all of the investors who actually had Netflix stocks. And if you are still having it, just be aware that maybe in the short term, kind of the decline trend may continue for Netflix, in the rest of this week or maybe next week. Just be aware of that. Don't be scared though. If you want to, just realize your profit and lock it down, book your win, put it into your pocket, consider the side in a short time. But if you are really a long-term investors, if you really think this company on a correct and bright journey of developing its company, then you just simply hold it. And maybe when the price goes down back to, for example, 880 or like a little lower than 900, maybe it's another buying opportunity for you to add more shares into your portfolio. And hopefully, again, as I said, roughly in a month or in a 1.5 months, hopefully the price can go up and break the new high, and which is roughly $1,000 per share, right? This is number one reason. And number two reason, I would say, I guess a lot of investors have been already aware this is something new launched by Trump government, and that is called Stargate. Stargate has basically collected a big number of famous name of high-tech companies in the industry, and by combining all of those great companies' efforts, it will be roughly $500 billion invested on something like infrastructures for future AI developments, right? And that is really great news. And I would say that is kind of pre-designed news as well, just basically to welcome Trump as a new president coming into White House, right? Just to celebrate, just to do something great at the beginning of his presidency. So it's not really surprising me so much. And if you don't know what Stargate is, I will just call out some great names, and of course you can, by googling that names, you can check the news behind those companies. It's really like Microsoft, who is backing up OpenAI. OpenAI is also one of the players in this Stargate program. And then you will have actually NVDA as the chip producer. You will also have ARM, who is really willing to get into chip industry, but still mainly focus on artificial intelligence business right now. And you will also have Oracle as the soft and hardware provider to Stargate program. So basically, for those big names, for those company stocks, they went up clearly. ARM was actually up 15% during the day. It went down a little bit, but it's still very strong performance for those companies today. And with all those like great news, great performance from the earnings sessions, and that is the major reason why Nasdaq is running the best comparing to S&P 500 and Dow. Now, let's jump right into our account. It's actually not as good as yesterday's performance. We are actually down today. Can you believe that? We are actually down. But let's break down it a little bit. First of all, if again look at absolute value, the biggest contributor to our today's loss is actually Micron. But I really need to see that. You see the performance here, right? At the end of the trading day, Micron was only down a little bit over 0.1%, which is nothing. However, during the after hours, which is still not finished yet, Micron is down, very close to 2.8%, which is a lot bigger than our intraday performance. Intraday trading sessions performance, right? No any particular reason has been identified. And hopefully it's just like unbalanced fluctuation for Micron during the after hours. And you guys know after hours basically is it's driven by a very small amount of tradings. So I wouldn't consider this like roughly 3% down during the after hours is super critical. I'm still kind of keeping my eyes on any upcoming news from Micron and see if this 3% really driven by some solid reasons. As of now, I really don't know, and I don't see any reasons by far for that 3% loss. But let's just say this is the fluctuation during after hours. And then another couple of names that I need to call out for today. NUE is down a little over 300. In terms of percentage, it's a little over 2% down. I'm okay with being knowing no new news coming into our way, right? We talked about potential acquisitions. We talked about potential benefits by either blocking Chinese steel products coming into US or simply increase the tariff as high as possible to really protect NUE, Nucor, or like CLF or American Steel, those domestic iron company or steel company, right? So for all those potential benefits or potential positive factors, they have not been kind of kicked in yet. We are still kind of waiting for more executive orders or like opinions from the new president, how to kind of reboom the steel industry. So I'm kind of okay of holding NUE for a little longer. I will talk about today's trading activities as well, and basically it actually applies the same logic. Still kind of not realize the future positive policies and haven't been able to realize the future potential trading war or tariff increase yet. I will talk about that later on. But I want to spend a little more time talking about UMC, which is United Micron Electronics. What this company does, this is a chip maker company. It very like Taiwan Semi. And this company is actually also from Taiwan. Is this company as great as Taiwan Semi? No. But that's the reason why this company only has, its price lower than $6. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. UMC released its earnings report for first quarter 2025 the day before. And I would say that performance from the earnings report is okay, right? Again, given the size of this company is actually over 14 billion. And given year-over-year growth for UMC, which is 9.9%, roughly 10%, I think this company is being undervalued. And if you look at its PE ratio, it's actually lower than 10. Can you believe that? I mean, for any tech company, for any chip maker company, does anyone, except Intel. Intel is another story, right? But do you realize any other chip maker company, its PE ratio lower than 10%? No, it's lower than 10. No, actually, you don't have that, right? So I would say, given the current price, given the real performance from its earning report, of course, the downside for that is, it's the real performance a little, just tiny lower than what market expected. That's the major reason why after the earnings, UMC went down a little bit, and today is the second day after the earning, and still went down over 5%. But comparing what price we have right now for UMC and what's the real performance from its earning report, I think I may consider to buy a little more. Not for tomorrow. Very likely it won't be tomorrow. But if its price continue to go down, for example, let's say it's gonna be lower than $5.4, like $5.40, I may consider to buy more. If you guys do not know, UMC actually took some of the QCOM orders from Taiwan Semi reported in last quarter 2024. For those new orders coming into this company, it's not being materialized, it's not being realized as the benefit for the earning report in last quarter, but it should be reflected in future. And with that positive company development, I should be okay to buy more if the price going down lower than $5.50 or $5.40. So there are some major contributors to today's loss. Talking about the trading, we do have one trading happened today. I actually talked about Freeport during my Chinese language broadcasting during the trading hours. Freeport is gonna release its earning report tomorrow. One of the reasons why I decided to buy a little more for, let's say, the basic materials industry is simply because the price recently in the past 6 months has been significantly lower than its high. And when Trump gets into the office, I think the infrastructure bill, the focus that they really want to spend money on the real stuff like constructing road, airport, ports, as well as highway, it's gonna happen in a kind of short period of time. And again, with all of the tariff and international trading policies being refreshed, I think those companies should have their opportunity to go back up in the first half of 2025. So I just bought 150 shares. It's not a super crazy amount of money, but I like to get myself into this company before tomorrow's earning report. If it goes well, good job done. If it doesn't perform well, I guess short term, I don't really have any pressure of holding this stock for a little longer. All right, this is basically what had happened for my account. I know, when the index is going up and you self-book a loss, that feeling is not so good. But look at our account value right now. We are 6,700, a little more than that, up than our original starting point, which is $150,000, right? So far so good. Let's say how Micron turn out tomorrow, if they can correct their after hours trading 3% loss. But without more, I will see you guys tomorrow.